First and foremost, I'd like to welcome Asset Global. I really appreciate that you brought your third ION conference here in South Africa this year. And we'd like to actually to see more of this ION conference as we go along. My name is Gabriel Ramukojo, and I'm the chairman of the Internet Society Gauteng chapter. I was going to go through the brief background of Asset Global, but Megan and Alan, they want to jump on that one. So I just go straight to the Gauteng chapter of who we are and discover what we do. So Alan earlier on mentioned that we have done a great deal when it comes to Internet Governance Forum and policy matters. So we were established in 2013, around about November. So we're still very much a young chapter. Hopefully we could also get to learn from ourselves and be around for the next coming 16 years or 17 years. For later. Okay, as I mentioned that we established in 2013, and late last year we had our first AGM, whereby we got to nominate 6 executive members that will represent the chapter. And unfortunately, I was nominated officially as the chairman of the Gauteng chapter, with other 5 members becoming part of the board. And 2015, we have 81 members. Well, our membership is diverse in terms of their background. We do have, as part of our members, we do have technical people, we have students from universities as our members, and we also have people that ISPs as part of our members. And when we had our AGM, we had one vision, and that vision was to basically get to make an impact within our communities and get people to participate within what I like to call the internet ecosystem. And to achieve that, we identified 4 pillars that we believe that we need to really focus on. And one of those pillars was a technical pillar, policy pillar, and also the advocacy pillar. And you will see that the marketing and fundraising pillar sits on the top of those pillars. And the whole reason for that is because all three of these pillars, they all depend on the marketing and fundraising pillar. We have our technical pillar, which basically focuses mostly on the technical stuff, like the DNSSEC training workshops that we had one earlier this year around the month of July, and policy and governance, where we focus mostly on the Internet Governance Forum, stuff like that. And as I was saying earlier, that late last year, around about the month of July, we hosted our first Internet Governance Forum in Gauteng. It was a 3-day Internet Governance Forum where we had all the leaders within the country participating in a discussion that we're driving, or that we're aiming to drive in terms of how we can move forward as a country when it comes to the issues that affect the internet ecosystem. And in the month of July, with the help of what I call two experts around the DNSSEC industry. We had a DNSSEC workshop at Gauteng, at LSR, and we had Mark Elkins and Dr. Richard Lamb from ICANN giving the training to our members. And the key part of that, it was to drive that, to get our members involved and learning on how to deploy DNSSEC. And this is why we're here today also with this ION conference, is to get people to understand the importance of deploying DNSSEC, why you need to deploy DNSSEC in your organization. And as an emerging technology, not all the people, especially coming from what I would call developing countries, don't understand the DNSSEC part of this, but then with the assistance of ICANN, with the assistance of ISOC, and with the assistance of the services, we're able to bring that workshop and training in Gauteng, which was a successful one. In regards to how we engage our members, we mostly use mailing lists and newsletters in terms of engaging our members, and also social media, which being a chapter that is managed by young people, social media plays a major role in terms of interacting with our audience. And also in regards to the events that we normally host, and you see from this picture, that is one of our strategic meetings as the chapter and the members, in terms of how we can drive the chapter forward, in terms of how we can get more people involved in the work of the chapter. As you might know, that with ISOC work, the chapter is all about volunteerism, so it's passion that drives us. We're not doing ISOC work because we get paid for it, but we're doing it because we want to see change in terms of our communities, in terms of getting people to understand that using the internet is not only for social media, but using the internet, the key part of it is to develop yourself. And that's the message that we're trying to drive out there. And in terms of our strategic relationships, the chapter has been around for 2 years now. We have managed successfully to build a relationship, and I would say strategic relationship with the industry at large. Meaning with the government, we've managed to build a relationship with them in terms of how we can collaborate with the government in terms of achieving the goals that the government have, and also the goals that as an organization we have, and also in terms of the industry. And that's why also today we are able to work with ISPA in terms of the IWEEK conference, because we've aligned ourselves with such leaders of the industry, civil society. We work closely with most of the civil societies in the country and abroad. We work with APC, which is Association for Progressive Communication, and we work with our local civil society organization, and also importantly, the end user, of which those are the key people that when we stand here, when we go out there, we say we represent them, and those are the people that drive the organization behind. And when it comes to civil society, I'll give a perfect practical example. Most of the civil society organization. ISOC Global, as Alan mentioned here, ISOC Global, they what we call community grants. And with those community grants, you can be able to do projects or apply for grants that you can apply, tend to fast on speak. So with those grants, you can be able to apply them in terms of doing any projects that you want to do that is community driven. And what we have done as a chapter in terms of really making an impact from the community that we are from, we work closely with an organization that is providing free Wi-Fi within the community of Soweto. And between all of us in the room, we know that it's not free at all. Well, that Wi-Fi that is being provided is funded by ISOC Global. ISOC Global did fund the initiative to get the community accessing the internet, and that was pretty much late last year. So there is work, or ISOC is doing a great deal of great work out there, and we encourage the community at large. And when Alan asked in terms of how many members or how many people within the room who are not ISOC members, I saw a few hands, 5 to 6 hands. I would encourage those individuals that raise their hands to come and join the chapter, whether it's ISOC ZA, whether it's ISOC Gauteng, because both chapters, there might be one must say ZA and one might say Gauteng, but both chapters will work together, and both chapters' key is to really get the community involved within the work of ISOC. Get involved, as I mentioned earlier, you can volunteer. This is the internet. Join it. Finish now. Well done. So, any questions? Well, I've still got 2 minutes or 3 minutes of my time. Questions. Thank you.